Hey, how we doing out there? So, if you guys watched my previous video, you saw that I went to the Bassmaster Classic, and most of that was flipping, so I wanted to do a flipping video today. Well, you can see from the title, the fish didn't cooperate, wasn't much flipping going on. But I did catch some fish, did some junk fishing, and so stay tuned, should be interesting. Alright, so June junk fishing. I couldn't find anything really schooled up today, so it was one of those days where you go out and you kind of think, well, I'm going to go do this today, which I was going to go flip, try to catch something, up close. When that doesn't work, guys, you got to adapt. I looked at the water temperature; it was about 77 degrees. And not much change clear from the creek out to the main lake. We've had a really weird year, so the fish just seem to be kind of scattered out. And so you got to adapt. Sometimes trying to find a pattern. I'm hoping to go out tomorrow morning. The closest I could come to a pattern was that jig. I caught a couple on it in the spinner bait. Might try a chatterbait. But anyway, that's what junk fishing is. It's basically going out and trying to find some kind of pattern, what the fish are doing and where they are. I hope this video helps. So, like I mentioned in the intro, I wanted to do a flipping video. Man, I couldn't get anything to bite up along the bank. So I had to abandon that pretty quick. Went to a buzz bait, didn't get nothing on that. So I went to my offshore structure, which on my lake, they like the rocks. So there's some pretty good rock piles out there. Picked up a few fish, and but it should be a good video. But hey, what I do want to show you, I want to show you what I call a 3-tag knot. And I noticed all the anglers at the Classic that I was with were using that knot. So it looks like a pretty good knot. It looks like it's not going to damage your fluorocarbon, and with the 3 tags, if you do run your plastic up along there, it's going to hold that plastic on a little bit better. So anyway, let me show you how to tie that 3-tag knot, and then we'll get to some fish catches, all right? All right, so in the video, when you see a couple of fish catches that I got on the jig, was on this 5/8 ounce football head jig. Real nice jig. I threw the packages away, but I picked them up at Bass Pro Shop. I was using this X-Zone crawl on the back of it, and worked out pretty good. Got a couple of pretty good bites on it. So anyway, let's get into this knot a little. Tie this knot, you start out kind of like a Palomar knot. You run it through, and you run it back through the eye, like that. Then you take, and then you fold it over, or go behind, like so. And then I put my finger in there, and you're gonna make 5 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to take that loop away from your finger. And you're going to run the other loop through that, like so. Then pull it tight. Now to cinch it down, of course, lubricate it. Grab your original tag end and the line and just pull. Now, I didn't lubricate that, and you can see how easy that's cinching down. Okay? Pull each one individually. And then now you got 3 tags. You got the loop and the original tag. They can cut all 3 of those. And there's your knot, 3 tag. And I really like this knot, so give it a try. I hope you like it. All right, let's go over that knot one more time. All right, so like I mentioned, I went to my favorite offshore brush pile, flipped it, went back into a creek, all the way back into it, flipped it, through a buzz bait, through a spinner bait, and I just couldn't get bit. So on the way out, I knew of a rock pile that was offshore, so I went ahead and hit it. And that's where you see me pick up the first 2 fish, one on that big jig and another one on, it's a covert booyah spinnerbait. The same one, not quite the same colors that Jason Christie used to win the Sabine River event. And that worked out pretty good for me. Caught 1 fish on the jig, threw it a few more times, went to the spinnerbait, picked up the 2nd fish. And then I went over to a rock point, and I had to fish offshore there a little ways too. I had to get off where the ledge drops off, and I picked up another fish. And that tells us a little something. I was back there in the creek and couldn't get bit in that stained water, and we moved out towards the open lake. Got bit on the 2nd cast out here. We'll see if they want something moving. We'll throw a spinnerbait at them. There we go. First rock point we came to. Liking that big old jig on that same jig. Then fished around a little bit. Of course, it was getting late in the morning. I was trying to get off the water around 11, and I went over and I fished a rock bank, and the only thing that I caught shallow, I caught on a white rattle trap, and caught it up right close to the bank. So it was a pretty successful morning. Nothing big though, no big fish. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one. If you enjoyed this video, hit like and subscribe. Let's get out on the water and have a great day.